So Kanyaji, I normally don't request anyone to repeat anything, but I think that was a lovely line that you said. Would you do me the favor to tell us that, how is it, the fact that you're with Raviji and what it means to you? Tell me about that.
To me, he's so special. I feel he'll go down in history. I've read about, Shakespeare, Tansen, Tyagaraja, all the great people, but I didn't live to know them.
Yes.
But now I'm so blessed that I'm living in his time, knowing him, being with him. All that I can say is I'm so blessed.
From that vantage point that you have, is there something that you have had a special insight into the nature of his creativity? How does he create?
He's very spontaneous. Very spontaneous. In fact, I've never seen him plan anything. It always, it's last minute. Or it even happens middle of the night sometimes. And he has hummed a tune or said something to me. I've been sensible enough sometimes to get up and write it down. Sometimes I've been too sleepy and stupidly thinking. I'd remember it next morning and lost it, of course.
Do you mean he's sleeping, then he gets up and says,
yes.
I'm thinking of something?
Usually what I can feel his feet tapping on my feet, and then I know something is happening.
And is that he's in a semi-slumberous mood?
Yeah. And believe it or not, this time, when he was having his shoulder operation, he was given the sedative and he was going into the operating theatre. He's already half gone and his style is still going,
Well, that's really the quality of genius, I think, in music.
He's such a creative person. Such a creative person. And that's a big disadvantage for Anushka when she's learning, because she's a child. He teaches her one way, one thing, one day, and the next day he changes and she says, "Mommy, Papi's all wrong," she says.
Well, I think she'll find her own idiom, her own dialogue with the music, and I suppose it's your own relationship.
I think she will. It may be unique, because the other day when she was sitting with him, her solo piece, I was not that worried because she had rehearsed it very well and, of course she brought it out. But the last piece, she sat with him, see? And I thought it was unfair. Raviji, I thought he would have at least played something she has heard.
Yeah.
But that day, he didn't even remember. He played something so totally new.
Good gracious.
And I was so frightened, but this girl followed him. Right?
Well,
she
that's
followed
it.
him, you see?
That's
and
it.
That was
and then I would
what
imagine the
amazed me.
excitement and the fulfillment of that would be even more.
Absolutely. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
And what was the piece actually that he played?
Majka Maj he played, and poor thing hadn't learnt it, and also the gut she'd never heard before. But she's a big copycat. She can.
Well, at this age, we are absorbing influences from all over, and then we make them our own and come up with something new, I think, and that's original finally.
Absolutely. And she's so lucky. And I tell her one thing, that I don't force you, Anushka, but I said there's millions out there who would love to be in your shoes and learn from him. So if you're going to take his time, make sure you utilize that.
Is there any discipline you enforce?
Absolutely.
What is that?
Practice. Absolutely.
What type?
Well, she has to fit in her school and all that, but she gives at least about 4 hours a day. Sometimes more. If he can sit with her, she will do 8-10 hours without complaining.
But now it's not easy for him to do that.
Yeah. But she does. She's quite a responsible child.
Tell me of your home in California.
Oh, it's a dream house. Totally dream house, because it's an old house we bought and we renovated. And it's like an ashram, no pollution, and it's almost like built for him. It's got a huge big concert hall and space to walk. It's so beautiful, so beautiful.
Can we transplant it here?
I wish we could. I'd never leave here then. And the weather, of course, is perfect. California,
Yes, I mean...
Throughout the year, it's wonderful.
Yes, it's a holiday season there throughout the year.
And he has such good medical care. That was the main reason I went there, actually.
How do you keep in touch with your music today, or is your time full now in administering this huge new responsibility?
It's too full. But he teaches me also sometimes while he's teaching Anushka. So I learn little songs. And
No, apart from dictating to you in the middle of the night, what does he teach actually?
no, he always makes me come and sit and learn some of the songs when he teaches Anushka. He insists.
Would you give a little sample
Perhaps
of
if he's teaching her, you know.
that? Okay. Thank you. It's very nice. No, you take it too short. Now this is the concluding part of the interview. No, I find the earth colors are always very safe colors to wear because they are so...
Absolutely.
Really? What is it that actually he enjoys most these days? In
Teaching. Teaching. Even if he's not well, you know, he just has to have some of his students around. And it's like a tonic. And there he is full of life and...
What is teaching? I mean, how do you suddenly teach?
his music all the time. You know, I don't know how it comes. It just appears from nowhere. They're there and all of a sudden he thinks of something and he says, there, start. No? And
play this and it's an experimental
It's
thing.
vocal mostly, you know,
Achha.
not with an instrument. But,
are there any rags, new rags or anything that he has composed?
so many. I was just listing, I think about 22. Some of them like Bhairagi and Nat Bhairav have gone into mainstream and other people are playing it and singing it too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the work I'm doing now actually, putting it all down.
And how does he, is he an impatient teacher?
Yes, he is. He expects everybody to get it, you know, first go or maybe second, otherwise he gets wild.
Achha.
He's terror, absolutely, when he's teaching.
But you said that he's in his element when he teaches.
He is. Nevertheless, he expects everybody to grasp it. But most of his students are, you know, very good.
Of that kind of.
They are,
Including yourself.
including myself.
Okay, thank you very much. Well done. That's fine.
Just leave it. You know, this girl, you ask her any question on Mahabharata, she'll answer you. Absolutely any question. Who is who? What happened when, you know.
But so I say that, I mean, again, if at around 4:35 she feels that she would like to spend 15 minutes with me,
We just
I'd
talk
love
to
to
us,
speak
you
to
know,
her.
and
even if it's not
I've
on-
brought her up totally free, because to me, you know, I believe sometimes even I have problems with Raviji with this, you see, because he's quite old-fashioned, and I say that she is a human being. She is not my creation or my thing to expect her to behave exactly how I want her to behave, you see.
she's not a doll.
I've treated her like a, you know, an individual, you know, total respect to how she feels about, you know, things. And I think I've got more out of her than by trying to control her.
It's a lovely name.
I know, Anushka, it sounds Indian, doesn't it? And it's actually a Russian name.
Yes.
And when I was pregnant, I saw this actress called Anushka Hempel.
Yeah.
Such a pretty lady. I was just watching a film and I said, if I have a daughter, I'm going to call her Anushka.
And lo and behold,
And he's given her a name also, Hemangini, his
see.
mother's name.
I see. How beautiful. And what has dictated your choice of dress and color today?
I just showed him a couple of saris. I said, look, I'm not that comfortable to wear a Bengali sari, cotton, I mean, not to walk around the whole thing, and I'm not feeling too well. So he said, no, you wear a South Indian sari. He loves South Indian saris.
Absolutely. And that orange, this combination. You bought it somewhere?
You know, it's not even gold.
I see.
It's a friend of Raviji's, you know, whose daughter started making these. And I think it's so pretty. I don't care if it's gold or diamonds or whatever, as long as it looks pretty.
I don't think, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
she makes these lovely things, and, you know.
It looks very traditional
Okay.
and it beautifully matches that sari.
That's it.
No, what I was saying was that, for instance, these things you talked about, him humming and, listening to music, teaching, these are all things which then would make a beautifully blended documentary. Now we don't have time for that. And I don't think in my absence it will be done in the same quality that I would really like to have done. You and Anushka are both going together too.
She's actually faking it because she's looking very glamorous. You're making me feel You feel better. What is surprised?
Have you figured out what it was that you ate yesterday?
A kebab. Kebab. She's not going to eat kebabs.
A particular kebab or?
Sikh kebab. Sikh kebab.
I would normally eat the fish and the prawns.
Sometimes the meat's not too good.
So
Maybe
then
they're
now,
flying out all day, maybe.
Are you feeling cold? Are you okay? Okay? That's okay.
we spend a minute or two, 2 minutes talking to each other. Come. I know you're wearing a beautiful dress.
Just got a gift this morning.
But what we have thought of is that we might just park ourselves at the grass. So shall we do?
Oh, it's okay. It's all okay.
Hold on, let's go. And maybe behind the tree or something. Don't mind. Very steady. Yeah.
Are you?
I see. What about the language in the does it follow you sometimes in terms of learning things and so on? कहाँ बैठे भैया? यहाँ आइए. So that's fine. Okay. Now get up. That's nice. तो इस वक्त मेरी बातचीत पंडित रविशंकर जी की बेटी अनुष्का से हो रही है. अनुष्का, you had your first public concert just now.
Yeah, on the 27th.
Now, what was the thing which terrified you most about that concert? Were you terrified at all?
Yeah, I was, definitely. Playing in front of my dad.
Really? But then he teaches you every day.
But when there's so many people out there, it's different.
But do you find that that your father teaches you systematically and regularly every time?
Yeah, yeah. Good.
And did he play what he had taught you?
And at the concert? No. No.
So what happened? I mean, tell me what happened actually at that point of time. Just describe it to me.
It was just like when you're learning at home. It's like he plays something I don't know and I just got to try and pick it up. But the last piece I knew. But
What was that?
in Majkamat, the last gut, I knew that. But all the other guts in Majkamat, I didn't know at all.
So then what did you do actually?
I just sat there. I picked it up afterwards. The part, I didn't have to play the whole part, just that one repeating part, and he'd play something
Right.
else. So I got that.
Right. But how do you see yourself? As a sitar player, as a piano player, as a singer, as what?
Not a singer. I don't know. Both, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
What about language? Does it trouble you?
Not so much. I'm not very good with Hindi. But I can speak Bengali
Oh,
and Tamil.
what
But
do
I,
you do?
I hate talking to people that are really good. You know, all my dad's students and things. 'Cause
Right.
they speak fantastic Bengali and stuff. I speak... I can manage.
Okay. Now, as you play and what you play, I mean, how do you see yourself? I mean, do you think that you might find a fusion? Or would you like to be playing pure music on each side?
Definitely pure. I like classical piano and do classical music.
What is it about classical piano that actually excites you?
I don't know. I mean, it's not that I don't listen to pop or anything, but I'm not interested in learning to play it, you know? Whereas it's hard to learn classical music, I think. I like it.
Well, what kind of music do you listen to otherwise?
Beatles.
Ah, Beatles.
Yeah.
Beatles is my generation. What do you like about the Beatles?
They're different. They're really different from everything now. They started the whole thing, except for Elvis.
You're an Elvis fan too?
I don't listen to him so much, but I admire him.
Girl is after my heart. Really. But in fact now, because you are actually stirring memories of my own, I love the Beatles. I'm a great Elvis fan. There was a festival of Elvis films recently in Bombay and I went and saw them. And I've got I think there were 3 Beatle films maybe, or maybe 2 only. I've got both of them. And as well as concerts. Are you telling me that the Beatles are still relevant today in 1990s?
Yeah. All my friends love the Beatles. I got some of them into it, but all of us like the Beatles a lot. We have all these Beatle posters and everything.
But which of the Beatle numbers are you really referring to? Which phase?
Yesterday, Here Comes the Sun. But then I like all the stupid ones like Obladi Oblada and all that. Everything really.
Yellow Submarine.
I love it. It's funny. And
then what about those Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds?
See, they're so different is what I like. There's some that are just really cute and some that are stupid and some that are really pretty.
Now, how do you see doing something like that with your music as you play both the classical Indian and the classical piano? Do you see that there is scope for innovation and change there?
I suppose so, but I don't really know what I'd do. I'm sure there is.
So would you like to spend your life in music?
I think so. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to think in 5 years, but I like it, yeah. I love it.
Tell me, what's your life like in America?
It's routine. Big routine. I go to school, I come home, I do my homework, and I do my piano, and then I practice, and then I have dinner. But I mean, there's lots of space in the middle where, you know, I talk on the phone and stuff. But that's the thing I do every day.
Is there a word endlessly which is to be on the telephone?
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but I suppose in America the telephone is used pretty much because distances are so much.
Yeah.
You like it in America?
Yeah, I like it now. At the beginning, it took a while, but now I do.
How do you find interacting with friends there? I mean, you have American friends or Indian friends?
Yeah, both. Because they're family friends that are Indian. They're good friends of mine. And then people I met at school, they're good friends.
Do you get a lot of publicity out there? Do people are people pestering you for interviews and want to talk to you?
No, that's here since. Yeah, but I mean, you know, they do interviews for my dad, and they ask me to come there, but never really for me or anything. No.
Okay, but does that bother you? How do you deal with that one?
Sometimes I can't do a lot of things because there's no time. That, like, if I plan to go to a friend's house or something, and there's some silly interview where they want my picture, but no, it doesn't.
No, but does it inhibit you, the image of being the daughter of Ravishankar?
No, most people don't really know, and my close friends, I don't make a big deal of it. It's not like I go to school and I say, "Hey, my dad's Ravishankar," you know? And I don't lie about it. It's just if they ask, I say.
Yes.
It doesn't make a difference. Really.
You don't feel that it interferes with the kind of friendships that you have. You may feel that somebody wants.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes there are a lot of people who you think are good friends at the beginning, and it's just like, "Oh, will you get me George Harrison's autograph?" And then after that, they're not such good friends anymore. But not really, not so much. That's rare.
And being his daughter, does it put any pressure on you to perform?
Yeah. I mean, everybody expects a lot more than they would from just anybody else, I guess. But I wouldn't really know because I don't know the difference. But I think so. I'm sure it does.
All right. How are you going to deal with the pimples that you seem to be getting?
I don't get them in California.
Really?
Really? It's the pollution and stuff. I don't know what it is. Maybe the water.
Are
In
you
California, I'm clear the whole time.
sure? What about food?
Over here,
Hmm.
I eat good food. It's not the food.
Oily
It is the
food?
pollution. Everybody has the windows down all the time. It's like all these trucks going by.
Right, right.
I mean, when I go into LA, I get a couple of zits, and then go back to where we are. They go away, you
So
know.
it means very sensitive, that means,
So,
actually, your
yeah.
skin. And the kind of food that you eat out here, is it very different from what you eat in America?
Not so much. I mean, Mom cooks Indian food almost always.
You're not a vegetarian, are you?
No, my mom is.
Your mom is.
My dad and I. Are.
Fish.
Yeah.
But
I'm not too fond of fish. But my dad is.
I'm sure.
Yeah, Bengali.
Okay. What is it in music that you've been playing recently that has really interested you and you want to know more about it?
Indian music is it's fascinating the way you go into a raga and stuff, and you can improvise and things like that. It's different from anything else. There's nothing else like that. I like it.
Do you think you'll... Sorry. Just a couple more questions.